Hey guys, today I'm going to test an update that changes the way we do research with AI. The SciSpace agent can now search and analyze the PDFs that are already in your library and even generate a structured report with the writing sub-agent. And the best part is you can save everything in a notebook with citations ready to reuse later. So, if you're a student, researcher, teacher, or work with content that needs a reliable source, this can save you hours every week. So let's open SciSpace and run a real task from start to finish. Deal? Then let's get to the video. SciSpace is a research platform with several AI tools for a complete workflow. Search for literature, understand articles, generate citations, review text, and organize references. Within it, there's the SciSpace agent, which works as a research agent to perform complex tasks. There's also the Biomat agent, which is a specialized version for biomedical research, focused on scenarios like analysis and reasoning based on biomedical data and concepts. Well guys, after clicking the link that's going to be down here in the description of this video, you'll sign up on the platform and you'll see this interface. So, let's move on to a practical example where I want to show you the main updates of this new version. Starting here with my library. So clicking here, my library, you can see that I have all my saved PDFs here. And this is very important because here I can upload all my documents, everything that is part of my research. I can even add some columns to my library. It already gives several options here. So let's say I want the conclusions here. Just click. Automatically, it will analyze my documents and bring me all the conclusions it finds, and so on. I have options here to add more columns so I can better view the content of each of my files. And to upload a new document, it's very simple. Just click here on the button, then you'll browse your computer and upload it with no problem. Now, another fantastic thing about this update is that the SciSpace agent can interact with these PDF files. So, instead of searching from an external source, you can work with what you already have. Up here, I select whether I want articles, topics, or my own library. I'll leave it here in my library and I'll ask the following. Find data about the greenhouse effect and I'll send it. You can see that the agent searched my database and already showed me the results, so this saves a lot of time. Instead of doing a comprehensive external search, it goes to my documents and finds what I'm really looking for. Look, here's a text written by artificial intelligence. Here it shows the file name, a brief summary, and the conclusions based on the columns I chose. Well, now I want to expand my research, and for that, I'm going to connect with Zotero, which is a platform where I can find several documents with scientific references. Okay, how do we do that? Coming back here to the main page, you can see that I have several connection options. So, for example, I can connect with ArcSiv, grants.gov, and so on. There are several options here for me to enhance my research. So, to connect with ArcSiv or Zotero, I'll click up here and you can see that my account is already connected. For that, you need to sign up on the Zotero platform, and if you want, you also have other connection options here. Mendeley, OneDrive, Notion, Slack, and GitHub. So, after connecting here with Zotero, now I have two reliable sources, the platform itself and also my PDF files. So, since I already have a robust database and I've also connected with Zotero, now I'm going to run a real task. What am I going to do? I'm going to use a common prompt that can be adapted for anyone, for example, doing a thesis, a dissertation, a paper, or even a technical report for a company. It doesn't matter. Look, this is the prompt. I want a quick literature review on, here I'll put my topic, electric cars. First, use the PDFs from my library. Identify 6 to 10 main findings with citations. Compare the methodologies used in the studies. List limitations and gaps. Suggest the next steps for research. So the agent has already started working. He will analyze all the documents in my library, create a plan of attack, and then deliver the result to me. So, this is where this update makes perfect sense, because before the agent would pull this information from external sources. And then he would cover a lot of things. It wouldn't be as focused. Not anymore. Since I have these documents that are part of my library, the chance of making a mistake is much lower because I already have that foundation. If I want, I can add more information later. While he's thinking here, I want to show you this option. I can choose automatic here, which will adapt exactly to my prompt to what I'm asking for. I have Deep Review, which will do a more advanced search, and also the biomedical one, which is specialized in biology and medical tasks. So, if you work with that, there's a specific agent here for this type of task. And it's worth remembering that the report it will give me isn't a generic summary of the PDFs I already have. So, let's go. He finished doing the research in those files that were inside my library. So, everything is organized here. I can add columns, I can download these files anyway. Everything is available here so I can continue with my research. But now I want to improve it, so I have my database here. It's nice, but I need to expand it. How do I do that? By connecting my Zotero account. I'll use the prompt field to request the following. For the studies you mentioned, generate a list of references in ABNT and APA format. If any metadata is missing, pull it from my Zotero. If there are duplicates, consolidate them. So, it will complement my research based on the references it will fetch from Zotero. It identified 30 references in this specific format and is connecting to Zotero. So, everything I have in Zotero related to this specific topic of electric cars, it will pull in as references to enhance my research here. Done. It has already finished, and look here at all the references it found, and by the way, in ABNT format, all available here so I can add them to my research. Well, now I need to turn all this into a report. How do I do that? Once again, I'm going to ask it for us. Based on the review and the sources used, write a structured report with an introduction, overview of the topic, main evidence, citation, comparison between approaches and methodologies, limitations and gaps, recommendations and next steps, then the conclusion and the length. It should be 2 to 4 pages long, objective and well organized. That said, just send it. What's most interesting is that I can follow everything in real time. He is writing the report and I am watching. Look, he has already finished. He brought me the executive summary, the table of contents with introduction, overview of the topic, main evidence, comparison between approaches and methodologies, limitations and gaps, recommendations and next steps, conclusion and references. Everything is in order here so that I can use it. So, just imagine if you're working on an academic paper, a thesis, or a more in-depth research project. This here is gold. Because based on your files, those PDFs you already have at home, and also on reliable sources like the ones we save. There in Zotero, for example, I got this complete report here with text, conclusion, and all the references so I can refer to it. Anyway, it's a complete academic paper. And now, what's the next step? It's to turn this report into a notebook. So for that, I'm going to click here on Outputs, and here I already have all the material that was used to build my report. Now, I'm going to save this in notebook format simply by clicking here, Save to Notebook. And that's it, I already have my notebook ready here so I can view it. So, look, a complete file that I can export in docs format if I want. And then, this notebook stays saved here inside SciSpace. If I want to access it again, I just come here to the sidebar, My Notebooks. See, I already have Caro Electrical Review here, and my notebook is already showing up here. Then, if I click on full screen, I already have a complete view of my notebook here. If I want, I can also click on the citations here, and then I can see each of the citations that are present here in my report. On this other button here, S key, I can use SciSpace's artificial intelligence to interact with my notebook. So, if you work in research, are studying, or need to do a final paper, SciSpace is a real lifesaver. It will help you a lot because it's not just an artificial intelligence, a chatbot that will give you the result of a search. It goes way beyond that. It will search through your own documents, and more than that, it will expand your knowledge by looking for reliable sources to bring you material that's worthy of being published. Pretty cool, right? So, if you want to try out these SciSpace updates, I'll leave the link in the description and in the first pinned comment. You can also use the coupon to get a big discount on the advanced plan, alright? I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.